Okay, I want to do a quick video um, about insurance companies, about how awesome they are. The ins and outs of filing a claim is basically what I want to talk about today. So, say you get an accident, um, you crash. If it's your fault, first thing you do is you don't say it's your fault. Try not to get the person to call the cops. Just say, you give me your insurance information and move on. Um, you don't want a police report. I'll tell you later on. I'll tell you how that ropes into this. So the basic part of this whole thing is, so you get in an accident, you exchange your information. The person says, okay, you got your information, I got my information, you're on your way. So your next step is to file a claim. So you're filing a claim with your insurance company. So this is where it gets to be the nitty gritty. You can do it online. You can call your agent. There's many ways of filing a claim. So the best way to do would be, if you have an agent, I would call them. And then still, again, you don't take responsibility for the accident. You just say, I got into an accident with another driver, and still do not tell them that was your fault. And the reason behind that is, once you say it's your fault, then automatically it's triggered that the whole thing is going to be your fault. Um, so you don't want to be doing that. You want to make sure, make them do investigations, make them figure out who's at fault, not you. You just say, no, it wasn't my fault, and just stick with that story. Second part of the whole story is, so after you file your claim, your insurance company is going to say, okay, well, do you want to get your car fixed? And you're going to go, yes, because you have a nice car, you want it fixed up. That makes sense. So next thing they're going to ask you is, where do you want to get your car fixed? And they're going to tell you that they have these certain body shops that they want you to have it repaired at. They're called DRPs, direct repair programs. What it is it's a deal that this shop sold their soul to get this insurance company underneath them. So it sends more work to them. It's a it's a way that the shop they basically work exactly for the insurance. They don't work for you. So what you want to still do then is, they're going to give you that shop, and it's going to be some large corporation shop. Don't go to them. Go to the mom and pop shop, because you have a choice. Especially if you're in certain states, you have a choice of where you get your car repaired at. No matter what the insurance company says, they have to pay the bill. Doesn't matter where it is. If that shop, that mom and pop, is $89 an hour, then they have to pay $89 an hour. So they get the approval from the insurance before you get your car fixed, from that shop and from the insurance. Next step is, you're going to have that shop fix your car. Now, this is where it gets to be kind of the dicey part. So if they're a DRP, direct repair program scam, then what they're going to do is, they're going to ask you what parts you want in your car, but you're not going to get those parts you want in your car. So you're not going to get brand new parts. You're going to get used or aftermarket, or whatever state that you belong to. They're going to give you what parts that the insurance company wants you to use. So first off, you're going to be devaluating your car, which is bullshit, because you're already getting parts put on your car that from damage. But then they're going to put on aftermarket or used parts on your car. So you're going to be stuck with some mediocre parts, which isn't fair for you. As a customer, I would not allow that. I would say you want brand new OEM parts only, nothing less. There's also a rider you can get to add to your insurance policy before you obviously get an accident, that you can get OEM parts only, brand new, which you got to pay more, which is a scam. So what you want to do is, you just want to fight. and you want to argue with insurance and you say, no, my car is not going to be back to original condition unless it's the exact same parts or better than what was on the car. You don't want aftermarket ever. Their parts are mediocre at best. You want to go OEM brand new. Always. Even those parts aren't the best anymore like they used to be either. But at least it's OEM, so when you go to sell the car, if it has damage reported on it, you can at least say, well, it was fixed with OEM brand new parts. The repair was done correctly, hopefully by that body shop. Then the next step is you want to drop your car off. Well, then you're going to have to get into a rental. Well, that's going to be a whole nother thing. So make sure you have coverage, rental coverage on your insurance policy. If not, you're going to hope and pray that that shop has some sort of rental car you can use, which your car could be in the shop for weeks, months. It all depends on the damage. So what you want to do is you want to try to not, get into a situation where you don't have anything to drive, because all it does is put pressure on everyone, especially at the shop. I've been in the industry for 30 years working on cars. There's nothing worse than a customer that wants his car back right now. That's where we just all lose our minds, because it's just turned into a total mess for everyone. So the key is to try to make sure you have rental coverage on your insurance policy to begin with. Yes, it adds more to your cost, but when those times when you get an accident, it really does pay. But then you only get, this is the kicker to it, they always say, well, you'll get your vehicle like kind, which you have. That's a lie too. You do not. You get usually like 30 some dollars, probably maybe more depending on how it's set up, per day. So if you get an SUV, if you say you're driving a Yukon and then you get $30 a day, well, guess what you get? You get a compact car. So that's a lie the insurance company likes to tell you. You'll get a like kind car, even if it's not your fault. They'll try to do that to you too. And then another thing is, so when you do get your rental, obviously you want to make sure that you take good care of it, because obviously if you damage that car, then you'll be stuck paying bills, and make sure it's filled with fuel and all that good stuff. Another thing, when your car is in the shop, make sure that you let the shop know, depending on your circumstances, where you're at, exactly the situation that you're in. Say that you don't have a rental, then you need to tell the shop, I don't have a rental, I need my car moved up, top priority in the shop. And a good shop will try to accommodate those needs. They'll move stuff around, they'll, people that are in rentals that have time, they can sit on the side for a little bit longer, but the person who doesn't have a rental at all should be moved to the top of the priority list and given to a tech that's fast. And then your issues will be parts, obviously, coming in. And parts are always an issue, no matter what car it is. It seems like there's always something going on with parts now. There's texture pieces that are always scratched, damaged. Parts are brand new, coming bent, damaged, and that's just part of the game. Unfortunately, nobody cares nowadays of what parts look like. They just send them out in a box. They don't care. And then, so once the car is in the shop, make sure that the service advisor is reaching out to you pretty often to make sure you know what's going on. If there's hiccups with the insurance, if there's hiccups with the parts, if there's any kind of issues with hidden damage that a car have. All these cars have tons and tons of hidden damage on them when they get hit. They are built they're built out of plastic. So once they get hit, they just explode. So they're super cheap, but it's super expensive to buy one. So go figure. The other key is to make sure that your car is going through the shop, that you make sure that you communicate if there's any issues that come up during that repair. like say your rental's done, or you have something you need a larger vehicle for, or whatever the situation is, you need to address that with a shop. Now, there are certain shops that, especially these large corporation shops, you can take largely advantage of them. You can take them and say, oh, I want this part, I want this, I want this, I want that. And you can literally, you just give them, tell them I'll give you a bad survey and you get whatever you want. That's how it works with these large shops. That's if you go with them, which, you know, you should be going with a smaller shop. They'll take better care of you. They'll be more honest with you. They won't work for the insurance company only. They work only for you. They'll listen to you more. The big shops just want to turn and burn cars. They don't care about you at all. Not one bit. So the goal is to go to mom and pop shop. And that's what you need. You need that kind of shop. So that's kind of basically the basics of it. Back to the insurance part, if you file a claim, back to the say it's not your fault part, you don't want to have a police report because that'll follow you no matter what insurance company you get. So what happens, if another insurance company raises your rates because you got in an accident, then all you have to do is just leave that insurance company and go to the next. And then, you know, they'll ask you, like, have you been in a crash or whatever? And then you can say, nope, haven't been, nothing. So then if you have a claim on it, obviously a police report attached to it, that's going to be attached to your driver's license. And now you're going to have to tell them that. And then now that report's going to follow you for every insurance company you go to for years. So you try not to never say it's your fault, and you never try to get the police involved unless it's, you know, major crash. Obviously, then they have to be involved. Especially if it's your fault, then you shouldn't take liability for it no matter what. But if it isn't your fault and someone else hits you, then definitely take advantage of getting the police there, getting everything done, have witnesses, because that will be very important. And also, when you do get hit, when you call insurance, tell them exactly all the damage on the car. Like, even get an estimate written on it to know what all the damage is before you even call insurance. Because what they're going to do is, the insurance company is going to say, well, you didn't tell us about the rim, or you didn't tell us about this or that on the car when you turned in your claim. So now when the shop gets the car, they're going to go, well, that's not on the description of what actually got damaged. So what's going to happen is the insurance company can just deny that whole thing that the shop fixed because you said it was part of it. That gets into a really sticky situation that none of us want to be in. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you tell the insurance company that, yeah, my fender's hit, my door's hit, my quarter panel's hit, my rocker molding's hit, my wheel was hit, it needs alignment, it's pulling to one side, it's not running right now, it's whatever the issue is, you need to tell them exactly, my car's not the same anymore. Whatever the issue is, you need to tell the insurance every detail of it before it gets to the body shop. Otherwise, it turns into a ginormous mess. And nobody wants to be in that mess, especially not the shop. So that's pretty much the basics of insurance. Biggest thing is insurance does not care about you. You're only a number. Don't fall for all their slogans, their infomercials, their commercials, all that stuff is all fake. If you have USAA, you'll have your car totaled at 65%. That's a possibility. 65% is just barely over half the value of the car. And if you're a veteran, that could be a brand new car payment will be some veterans out there on a fixed income. That'll be very detrimental to your income. If you do have USAA, and let's say you get in a crash, but then the person that hits you, say the person that hits you has USA and you have State Farm. So the best thing to do is run that claim through a State Farm. Do not run it through USA. They will tow your car. They do not care about you. Not a single bit. Every single thing that USA says, do not listen to them. That's all fake. They're anti-veteran, if anything. So don't do anything to do with USA, no matter what. Nobody should even have their insurance. So, unless you want your car totaled, then you can get USA, because they'll tow your car. And then what happens if they tow your car is they'll give you a payout, or they'll say you can buy it back. And what happens with that is, so the payout is just a value of the car, general value. It's always low. It's pathetic 90% of the time. And then if you buy your car back, then you're just getting back your car that's all smashed to shit back. And that ain't gonna help you at all, having a wrecked car. So, and then they'll pay you whatever for the car. So you don't want that. You just rather not have that situation. Rather just not have a total in general. And what they do is they take the total and they sell that to Copart. I'm sorry. And what they do is they sell it online to some random people. And what they will really like to do is they like to put the car back together to make it look like there's not that bad when it's got frame damage or structural damage. So then they sell it to some poor sap online for more money. Then he gets stuck with a big problem. So when a car is totaled, it is totaled. Don't even say, oh, I want my car fixed. No, don't even attempt to do it. Just let it go. Because the reason why, nobody wants a can of worms back. Totaled cars are total for a reason. And they'll structurally, you don't want to get any of that mess. You just want to get out of it, move on, get a different car, start over fresh. Avoid the headaches of premature rusting, alignment issues, all kinds of electrical issues. There could be a ton of problems, calibration issues. You just want to stay away from total losses altogether. Don't buy a total loss unless you absolutely know what you're buying. You have to know what you're buying. You can't say, well, it looks great, but they said it was just hitting the front end. No, that's not true. It was total for a reason. They don't total cars because it has just a bumper and a fender, like they'll say. It was huge damage. It was total for a good reason. So don't buy it. It's just a can of worms. People love to fix cars. We flip cars all the time. We used to take total losses and fix them, but we were a reputable shop that knew how to repair a car correctly with a lifetime warranty for our repair work. So if it did have damage or something weird was going on with it, we would take it back and fix it for free. Now, there's a ton of chop shops out there that cob cars. No, don't do it. Don't do it. I don't care how cheap that car is and you think it looks good, don't do it. You'll regret it. There's always something wrong with them. And usually most cars that were involved in any kind of damage, even small damages, have little quirks or kirks with something with things like, the battery will die all of a sudden within 12 months or within a few months or whatever, or a starter will go out, or just weird things will happen to the car just because the impact is so huge on a total loss. Calibration stuff, it's who knows how they put that together, if it even was calibrated or if they just kind of aimed it and said, good luck, here it is. But insurance companies, don't fall for any of their gimmicks, scams, anything. They've been ripping people off for years. They record profits. That's all that they care about. So don't fall for the slogans, don't fall for the ads, don't fall for any of their stuff. They're all bad, no matter what insurance company you get. Doesn't matter. I would say USA is the worst, but they're all bad, no matter what it is. So what you need to do is you need to pick your battles and pick your insurance. I pick it on price. Because if it's full coverage, it's full coverage. Read the fine print, obviously, because you never know with some insurance companies what they have going. Some of them only go up to $10,000 they'll pay for, and then you're stuck with the rest. It's the weirdest thing possible. I mean, I don't know how they get away with that stuff. Should be fraud. But just make sure you get your car fixed at a reputable shop with a lifetime warranty, and make sure that they go over the car with you, make sure it's fixed correctly. Any issues you tell them about immediately, make sure they take your car back, have them fix the repairs or whatever's wrong with it for free. Don't let them beat around the bush. If they do any kind of weird stuff, you light them up online. All these shops care about is online. That's all they care about. Oh, a survey. Well, light them up on a survey. Or light them up on Google, or light them up on Google reviews, or any of those places, because that's where they hurt. They hurt when they get nailed with that. Call your insurance company and tell them that they didn't fix your car right. Get them lit up with the insurance company, because that's all they care about. They don't care about anybody else. Shops don't, except for that insurance company. So they don't care about their employees. They don't care about anybody. They just care about that insurance company. So you remember that. When there's issues, you call that insurance company and you say, they didn't fix my car correctly. And then all of a sudden, boom, that shop will do backflips. So that's pretty much the basics of everything. Obviously, I'm going to do more videos on just general stuff and try to cover a wide variety of things. Obviously, automotive is kind of my specialty. I'll probably cover vehicles coming up here. The next video, but we'll see how it goes. Like and subscribe. Thank you.